Let us start with day 5 of C programming. In the last class, we have seen something called as type def, right? Now, I am going to explain you some concept which is called as enum. So in today's class, we are going to see something called as enum, which is called as enumeration list. Also, we are going to see something called as functions. How do we pass a how do we give a call to the function? What do you mean by function? How do you define a function? And so on. So this is about today's class. So let us say I am writing a program in which I am going to declare one enum. Now, when you declare an enum is basically called as enum is a keyword, which is declared for declaring the constants. So suppose in my program, if I wish to go for some, let us say, departments, maybe I want to go for admin department, maybe I want to go for placement department, maybe I want to go for training department. Now, whenever in my application, I'm going to use admin, I want to allocate the value as a 0. Whenever I'm going to allocate, whenever I'm going to use a placement, then department ID that I wish to go for is as 1. Whenever I am going for basically training, then I want to give ID as 2. Now, suppose on line number 16, again, I want to go for admin. So I will be basically writing 0, 1, 2. Again, if I want only second ID, then I'll go for second. But the thing is, in this scenario, it is difficult for me to remember the numbers, right? It is easy for me to write the complete word, right? So for that, if I wish to have different number of constants, right? Different number of integer values which are to be used in the program, then I will go for enum. So enum stands for enumerated list. It is also called as user-defined data type. Why it is called as user-defined data type? It is because when you talk about enum, in that case, ये हम खुद define करते हैं. Okay, so when you talk about enum, let us say I'm giving a name as department. And I am assigning 3 values to it. Maybe admin as a first value, maybe placement as a second value, maybe training as a third value. And I'll give semicolon. Now, in this scenario, when you talk about enum, in that case, the first value which I'm adding to this set, why it is called as list? It is because it is looking like a set which is having 3 elements. The first value will be allocated by default 0 value. The second value will be allocated value as 1, and the third value will be allocated the value as 2. So this is basically the enum. Let us just try to print. So I'm saying printf, right, %d, comma, I'll say admin. Similarly, I'll say printf /n, %d, I'll say placement. Similarly, I'll say printf /n, %d, and I'll say training. As I'm saying, all these are integer values, so I should present that values in case of basically integer format, which is in %d. Now, what all these are? Admin, all right, admin, placement, and training, all these are called as enum elements, जो मेरे enum के अंदर declare किए हुए हैं. Enum department is known as user defined data type. Why? Because for my program, if I only use the enum, the compiler को मुझे पता ना पड़ेगा ना कि ये मेरे data type का नाम है. So I will go for enum and I'll say department. So this collectively will be treated as a user defined data type. We have seen different data types like integer, float, character, and so on. Now we are seeing the user defined data type, which is called as enum department. Let us try to compile this code. The first value should get we should get as a 0. The second value we should get as 1 and next value we should get it as 2. Have you understood up to this point? Everyone? Correct. Now, suppose I am assigning my own values to it. Maybe I'm assigning 10, maybe I'm assigning 20, and maybe I'm assigning 30. So in this case, the values that will get allocated is 10, 20, and 30. Am I getting the same output? Yes. Suppose I'll take the same example. I'm saying I'm not assigning the value to the training, right? Let us observe. The first value is assigned as 10. Second value is assigned as 20. The third value will be assigned as 21. So what I want to conclude over here is, if you assign an integer value to the enum variable at the time of declaration, then it is okay. If you do not assign the value to the enum variable, in that scenario, the next element will receive the previous one value ka step 1 ahead. Can you see placement value was given as 20? So training will be given as 21. Did you all get it up to this point? All right. Next, I'll go ahead. I'm saying now I'm not assigning any admin value. So in this case, admin will be allocated as 0, placement will be allocated as 20, training will be allocated as 21. वो previous value set नहीं करता है, वो next value set करता है. Next value is based on the step 1 value ahead of the previous value. This is called as enum. Have you understood? Everyone? All right. Now suppose I am writing integer I and I'm saying I is equal to admin. Means, can I say I am assigning admin value to variable I? मतलब मैं किसी enum का डेटा स्टोर कर रही हूं I वेरिएबल में, right? So let us try to compile this code. Can we check that what I is holding at this point? The I is holding the value 0 because admin is allocated the value as 0. Did you get it up to this point? Everyone? Next, let us check, can I assign placement is equal to 40 now? What is placement? Placement is basically already defined an element within your enum. Initially, I have assigned as 20. Later on, I want to assign this as 40. Let us read the error. Can you see it is giving me L value required error? What is L value? At this location, wherever in the program you are using the placement, that value is equal to 20. Do you agree? Everyone? Right. Now, when I write placements is equal to 40, it means a placement value will be replaced as 20, which is I'm equating to 40. Are you understanding? Can I write 20 equal to 40? Obviously, no. Right? So that is called as a locator error. L stands for locator or location. Means the location where you are trying to store the data is basically giving you the error. So what I can conclude, we cannot modify enum element value inside main. Why? It will give you L value error. तो अभी जब आप MCQ type of questions, twisters या MCQ questions आते हैं, तो you have to understand you can definitely assign the enum value to another variable, but you cannot assign a new value to the enum element at that point. Did you all get it? Everyone? Right. Next, let us say I'll take next example. Right? Okay. I'll say right now I'm declaring enum and I'm saying department. Maybe I'm saying comp, maybe IT, maybe mech. That's it. Let us say. Okay. So 100%, the first value will be given as 0. This value will be given as 1. This value will be given as 2. Right? Next. If I say I want to fetch the value of mech, can I write like this? Why admin value becomes 0 in the previous one? The reason, Kalpesh, over here is क्योंकि मैंने admin की value को assign नहीं किया था. जब भी आप enum में values assign करते हो तो वो value मिलती है. अगर आप enum में value assign नहीं करते हो तो previous value, next value को previous से step 1 ahead value मिलती है. तो ऐसे नहीं होगा कि मैंने यहाँ पे 20 लिखा तो ऑटोमेटिकली इसको 19 मिलेगा. नो, the next value is depend upon the previous value. तो ट्रेनिंग को 21 मिला, एडमिन नहीं दिया है, इट्स अ फर्स्ट एलिमेंट, सो इट विल गेट 0. ओके, हैव यू ऑल अंडरस्टूड अप टू दिस पॉइंट? एनी क्वेश्चंस? नो. ठीक. व्हाट्स द टाइप? Just a second. Where, when and where we can use? Yes, I will tell you the application. Okay, I'll tell you the application of this. All right. Now, let us go ahead. I'll tell you the application after a while. Now, let us say I have a mech. At this location, can I say this is basically directly accessing the enum element? Can I say like this? Everyone, right? So if I try to compile this code, let's compile it and check, I'm getting the element as 2. Now, if I say, listen carefully, I wish to create a variable num of type integer. तो आप कैसे लिखते हो? Integer num, right? Where integer is your data type, num is your variable, correct? Similarly, if I say I have a data type enum department, can I say this is collectively treated as a data type? Yes. अगर मुझे इस particular data type का variable बनाना है, can I write D as it is? So this becomes my data type, this becomes my variable. This becomes my data type, this becomes my variable. Am I audible correctly? Khushbu, maybe check your connectivity. Yes, I'm audible because I can see the answers at yours from the student side. So Khushbu, what you can do is you can just plug in your microphone once again and join. You will get a pop-up, connect with your system audio. That may be the problem. Okay. Okay. Now, when you talk about enum department is equal to D. At this point, this is a data type. This is a variable name. This will be treated as a data type. This will be treated as a variable name. So I'll write enum department and I'll say D. So what is D? I'll say D is a, what is D? D is a variable. Of which type? Of enum type. Why do we write variable? To access enum elements. To access enum elements. Ab, suppose I'm writing D is equal to IT. And I wish to print D. That means मैंने ऐसा एक वेरिएबल बनाया है जो मेरे enum को पॉइंट कर रहा है, and in that case you are basically trying to hold or point that variable to access the enum elements. So when I say D is equal to IT, this variable of type enum will point to the enum elements and it is going to give me answer as 1. Let us check. Can you see? I'm getting this D is equal to 1. This 2 is for mech. I should put a /n. So there are two ways via which you can access the elements. One, आप directly भी enum. Why 1? Because IT को अक्षय क्या value मिलेगा? Comp will have 0, IT will have 1, mech will have 2. Okay. Now listen carefully. I have two options to access the enum elements. How many elements I have declared in this enum? Can you please tell me? 3 elements, right? When I'm saying 3 elements, obviously the first element will be 0, second element will be 1, third element will be 2. Now there are two ways via which you can use enum elements, right? Just give me a second. Right. So the first way is enum department D. मैं या तो वेरिएबल को डायरेक्ट एक्सेस कर सकती हूँ या तो मैं enum का वेरिएबल बना के एलिमेंट्स को एक्सेस कर सकती हूँ. This is called as direct accession of enum element. This is called as through the variable I'm creating the enum or I'm accessing the elements. Have you understood? Everyone. Right. Ab. Let us understand. Can I use a type def with enum? Yes, you can use a type def. कल मैंने आपको enum type def कौन से बताया था? याद है क्या type def? It is used to give a nickname to the existing data type. So if I say type def, right? Yes, Tushar, through the variable, you can access only one element of enum. क्यों? क्योंकि enum at a time एक ही element को point कर सकता है. Let us just take one example. I'm saying enum department, right? And I'm saying D, right? Here, I'll say, या तो मैं D में IT store कर सकती हूँ and I can printf value of D in %D format. या तो मैं D में mech store कर सकती हूँ and I can print the value of D one more time, right? Or I can write D is equal to comp and I can access the value of D. So at a time only I can access is basically at a time I can access only one element. Let's try to print. As I'm seeing, it is a data type. So मैं उसका size find कर सकती हूँ. Size of D. Because D is a variable. Variable ka size, it will go over here. It will observe it is a data type of enum. So let us check the size. The size of enum is always how many bytes? 4 bytes. Can you see? When I stored IT into D, it have given me the value as 1. When I stored mech into D, it have given me the value as 2. When I've stored comp into D, it have given me the value as 0. But when I try to find the size of D, it is always 4. So that means I can conclude size of enum is always 4 bytes. No matter how many elements are there in your enum. Did you all get it? Everyone. Right. I'll take the same example. Now, hope you remember the meaning of type def. Integer, and मैंने उसको एक नया नाम दिया था. Can you please tell me what is a real name over here for the data type? In this case, what is a real name? This integer is a real name. Can you please tell me what is a nickname? It's a number. Absolutely correct. Can I create a variable using nickname and the real name? Of course, yes, I can create. Right. That means if you observe the syntax, ये है मेरा existing type. On the left hand side part, I'm writing the type def. On the right hand side part, I'm writing the variable name or nickname. Similarly, if I'm saying I have declared enum department, can I say it is an existing data type for me? Right? और अगर मुझे इसको type def करना है, I will write type def keyword on its left and I can write DPT over here. So what I will say here, enum department is real name and DEPT is nickname. समझ में आया syntax? What is type def? Right? Now, can you please tell me here what is D? What is D? D is a variable. D is a variable created using real name or nickname. real name, right? Good, real name, right? Madhuri is asking, can we take numeric value as an enum variable, right? Madhuri, normally you have to follow the correct protocols for variables, rules for variables. So it's better give a proper naming convention for the variable declaration. आप enum department 1 ऐसे नहीं लिख सकते, ठीक है? ये point समझ में आया? I have created a variable using real name. अब, if I ask you, I wish to create a variable, let us say D1, using nickname. तो आप कैसे लिखोगे? निकनेम क्या है? DEPT. D1 क्या हो गया? वेरिएबल नेम. So D1 is a variable created using nickname. Short name दे दिया. Instead of writing everywhere enum department D, I have used a short name which is called as DEPT. Is it okay? Right. You can, yes Suraj, अगर आपको इसको निकनेम बाद में देना है तो you can write type def enum department DP. That's fine. But normally what we do is when you are declaring an enum, if you wish to give a nickname, left hand side precede it with type def, right hand side write it as a nickname. All right. Quickly go through the code. If you have any queries, please do ask. This is concept of enum. Right. If you write Nilesh, if you write placement as -1, training will be -2 and admin will be 0. Because enum always gives or assigns the next value based on the previous value. If the previous values are not given, it starts from 0 and accordingly it will go ahead. Yes, Atharva is asking, are the enum are basically case sensitive? Answer is yes. Right, Arpit? I will explain you what is the need of enum. Right. Pavan, in this case, if you talk about D1, D1 is IT. IT को कौन सा value दिया गया है? 1. That means D is holding 1. So that's why D value is displayed as 1. Next, D is equal to MEC. That means MEC is given value as 2. So that's why the output is 2. Can you see the output? Next, comp, it is given as 0 value. So 0 आया. Size of enum is always freezed, which is 4 bytes because enum is an integer constant which can point to only one integer value at a time. ठीक. Real name replaces a nickname? No, Akshay. Real name do not replaces. It gives another name to your enum. It's like a new name given to the enum. Okay, Akshay? All right. Now, let us say I have, okay, someone is asking me in case of negative values. Let me take this. And maybe I'm assigning IT is equal to -1. And maybe I wish to print the element data. So I'll take the same code. I'll write a variable D. Maybe if let us try with nickname only. So I'll write D1 is equal to IT, D1 is equal to MEC, D1 is equal to 1. You can, but it is good practice to declare into the global area. The reason is the other functions can have the accessibility. Okay, Shrikant? So D1, D1, then again D1 and D1, right? I'll say return 0. We'll save this code and let's compile. Can you see the first variable is -1, MEC is given as 0, comp is already been 0. Are you getting? I'll just change the sequence. पहला एलिमेंट को 0 मिला, दूसरा एलिमेंट को -1 मिला, थर्ड एलिमेंट को भी 0 मिला. So it's like in the whole program, wherever you will use comp and MEC, both will have the same values, right? Suppose I'm assigning -2 over here. In that case, that will be different. It always goes one step ahead, not in a positive towards positive, Tushar. One step ahead value. -1 के बाद 0 आता है तो पहले 0 allocate किया. अगर आप उसको explicit value assign करते हो तो वो -2 आएगा. Suppose मैंने पहले एलिमेंट को ही -1 assign किया. Now check it. -1, 0, 1. Is it okay? Hope it's clear. One step ahead. All right. Good. Now we will go to the next topic. Acha, I will wait for a minute. You can quickly go through the complete code. DPT, what if we assign it? सजन, DPT को assign नहीं कर सकते because DPT मेरा data type है. आप कभी भी ऐसे लिख सकते हो क्या? Integer 50 ऐसा हम लिख सकते हैं क्या सजन? हम data type को value assign कर सकते हैं? क्या हम data type को value assign कर सकते हैं? No. तो अगर मैं DPT लिखती हूँ तो this is treated as a data type. तो मैं DPT को कुछ वैल्यू असाइन कर सकती हूँ? नो. DPT का मैं एक वेरिएबल बनाऊंगी जिसको मैं वैल्यू असाइन कर सकती हूँ. Is it okay? Hope you have understood the difference. Yes. Coming to the point. Yesterday, we have seen one program. I'll just go to that program of do while loop. याद है क्या? कल हमने do while loop का एक program किया था using add, subtraction, and it was getting continuously executed using the concept of switch case. I'll open that program. This was break, and I think switch case was done before for loops, right? So it was 4_3 maybe. Yeah. So I'll take the same code where we have used a do while case. I'll copy this code and I will say, let us first try to compile the code. It's asking me first number, it's asking me second number. I'm saying I want addition, then subtraction, maybe multiplication, maybe modulus, and maybe 0, right? Now in this program, do you know that we have given the choices as 1, choices as 2, 3, 4, and 5, and so on. We were having only 5 different cases, so it was easy for us to remember that, okay, this is a choice for addition, this is for subtraction. But when you talk about large programs, in that case, you may have number of cases in one single application. तो आपको ये numbers याद रहेंगे क्या? Case number 50 किसके लिए है? Case number 60 किसके लिए है? Case 25? No, it's difficult for us to remember the numbers. So the question comes over here is, if I write here instead of 1, can I write add? The question to you all. Can I write subtract? Still no. Can I write multiplication? No. Here I'll write division? No. Here I'll write mod? Still not allowed. Here I'll write exit? It's not allowed. The reason is switch case takes only integer values. So अगर मुझे यहाँ पे ऐसे टाइप में डेटा चाहिए, so can I write enum is a small enum menu, and I'll say here first option exit, automatically वो उसको 0 वैल्यू असाइन करेगा. Add, कौन सा वैल्यू असाइन होगा? 1. Subtract 2, multiplication 3, division 4, modulus 5. So in my whole program, wherever I will write add, will it get replaced with the value 1? Right? Similarly, wherever I have used exit, will it get replaced with 0? Yes. So let us compile. The code execution will not be different. The code will get executed in the same way only, right? It will ask me first number, it will ask me second number. Maybe I want multiplication, maybe I want subtraction, addition, division, and 0. But can you see the readability of code is now more increased? So if we wish to increase the readability of the code, we can use enum. That is what is the application of enum. समझ में आया? The one who was asking me what is the need of enum application, Devidas, I think you have asked, right? Good. Shall we proceed? All right. Are the things going proper? If yes, quickly go through the code. Meanwhile, I'll create a new file. And I will introduce you something called as user-defined functions. Is the code visible? All right. Quickly go through the complete enum code so that I can proceed to functions. All right. Is it done? Shall we go ahead? All right. Let us go ahead to the next concept, which is called as user-defined functions. Before proceeding ahead, can you please tell me any functions that you have used till now? Main function, okay. पवन, in the previous example, कोई भी आप ऑपरेटर यूज करोगे तो आपको जो ऑप्शंस आप प्रोवाइड करोगे यूजर को वही ऑप्शंस आपको देगा. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर आपने यहाँ पे 0 लिखा है एग्जिट के लिए तो इट्स अ जॉब ऑफ अ डेवलपर टू राइट ओवर हियर एग्जिट प्रॉपर्ली. अगर यूजर ने गलत ऑप्शन डाला तो इन दैट केस इट इज द मिस्टेक ऑफ द यूजर. मींस मैं आपको बोलती हूँ प्लीज एंटर द चॉइस फ्रॉम 1 to 5 और आप बोलोगे नो नो आई विल एंटर 100 एज अ चॉइस. विल इट वर्क? नो, इट्स नॉट अ डेवलपर मिस्टेक, इट इज अ मिस्टेक ऑफ द एंड यूजर. So while developing these kind of applications, you should give proper message to the end user. जैसे मैंने यहाँ पे बोला है कि please enter the choice if you wish to exit 0, if you wish to go for addition, and so on and so forth. Is it okay, Pawan? Right. So you have used printf function, you have used scanf function, you have written main function. Now, when you talk about printf and scanf, have you defined it? आपने printf scanf को define किया है? No. Where they are defined? They are defined into the standard library called as stdio.h, that is header file. Now, when you talk about printf and scanf, they are called as predefined functions. Okay. Now, next is, do you define main as far as your program is concerned? Do you define main? Of course, yes. अभी तक जितने भी हमने प्रोग्राम्स लिखे हैं वो हमने हमारे रिक्वायरमेंट से लिखे हैं. Means can I say main is called as user defined function also? How? Because can you see, जब मैं printf function को कॉल करती हूँ तो मैं printf and semicolon ऐसे देती हूँ और ब्रैकेट में सिर्फ hello लिखती हूँ, right? But जब मैं main को define करती हूँ तो मैं उसको function की body देती हूँ, means opening and closing brackets देती हूँ. Do you all agree with this? Means can I say a main is also user defined function? Because user is defining its body. Have you understood? All right. Now, if I say I want to perform some operations, right? Maybe n number of operations. अब मेरे कंपाइलर के पास एग्जिस्टिंग फंक्शनैलिटीज तो बहुत सारी है, बट मुझे अब मेरा खुद का टास्क परफॉर्म करना है. In that case, I will go for something called as user-defined functions. So what are user-defined functions? They are certain set of statements which we wish to go for as to perform some task. Now, the second important thing is when you talk about user-defined functions, first you perform something called as function declaration. You will understand what is function declaration. We define a function definition and we say a function call. Okay. Now, suppose I want to perform printing of, or I wish to print something, maybe let us say OC04 batch C programming and functions, right? I just want to print this data. So normally what you will do? Normally you will say, I will write a printf statement in the main and I will put this printf statement and I will put this data within the printf statement and I can go for it. Right? This is what you will do. And 100% it is absolutely correct. But what I want this data to be printed, through functions. मतलब जैसे ही मैं print नाम का सपोज फंक्शन कॉल करती हूं तो ये मुझे printf करना चाहिए. आया समझ में रिक्वायरमेंट? नेक्स्ट टाइम जैसे ही मैं प्रिंट कॉल करती हूं देन फिर से वही डिस्प्ले करना चाहिए. थर्ड टाइम इफ आई गिव अ प्रिंट कमांड तो it should give me the output as OC4 batch C4 programming function. Have you understood? Everyone, have you understood the requirement? Right? So, do I have already a print function? Or instead of print, to avoid confusion, I'll give a name as display function. ठीक. Do I have a display function in my predefined libraries? No. That means I have to write my own functionality. Okay. Now, second important thing is when I'm giving a call, this is called as a function call. क्योंकि आपने अभी तक देखा रहेगा हम printf लिखते हैं और सेमीकोलन देते हैं. It is actually a function call. So when you talk about function call, at that moment मैं सिर्फ function का नाम लिखा है, opening and closing brackets दिया है. Again, I have given second time function call, I have given a third time function call. Now, when you give a function call, at that moment, will my function perform its task? Of course, yes. If you call printf, it will do its job. How it will do this job? It will go to stdio.h header file. It will check the type of your printf statement and it will accordingly print your data. Correct? Means somewhere printf function must be declared. कहीं पे तो डिक्लेयर किया हुआ रहेगा, बाद में उसका डेफिनेशन रहेगा, बाद में आप उसको यूज कर रहे हो. Are you understanding the scenario, everyone? So when I'm saying I am giving a function call, it will go to the function body. How do I define a function body? I give that function body like this. Okay, next. This is called as function definition. अब मेरे function के अंदर सिर्फ एक ही statement है. This is a function definition. But how my compiler will understand this is a display function? Obviously, I have to give a name to the function. I have given display. That is called as function name. This is called as function definition. Now, have I written any return statement over here? मैंने यहाँ पे return लिखा है क्या? नहीं लिखा है. अगर मैं यहाँ पे return नहीं लिखती, then I will write void over here. So I will say, for this program, I am going to use a display function which is not going to return anything to me. I'm going to use a display function which is not returning anything. When the function is not returning anything, then I should write void over here. What is this? This is called as a return type. Display is called as function name. Empty brackets means I'm not passing any arguments. The next example में मैं आपको arguments का meaning बताऊंगी. So display function is not taking any arguments. This is basically given as a semicolon. This is called as function declaration part. Means for this program, I am intimating to the compiler that I am going to use a display function which will be defined by me, which will have its own function body and which will not return anything, means void, which will not even take any arguments. That is called as declaration of the function. The function declaration is also called as function prototype or function signature. इससे ही मेरे कंपाइलर को पता चलेगा yes this is a user defined function. जैसे आप normally you declare a variable, you assign some value and you use it. Similarly, you declare a function, you define your function body and you give a call to the function body. Is it okay? Have you understood what is function definition, what is function call and what is function declaration? Declaration is done before main normally. If you do not do the declaration, it is optional. Your program will run. But the thing is, if you have many files, then it is always a good practice to declare the function first, right? Okay, so this is the function declaration part. This is function call, and I am giving a function definition. Now, just I will add few statements. I'll write inside main. I'll just put few statements so that I want to explain the flow now. After that, I've given a function call. Again, I'm saying back to main. Few statements. Again, I'm giving display, right? I'll write printf, calling display function again, right? Again, I'm giving a function called display. And let us say I'm writing end of main. These are few statements which I have written to explain the flow. Now someone is asking, can I write void and bracket mein display? Answer is no. That is a wrong syntax. If you want to define a function, then the syntax that you have to follow is return type, function name, ब्रैकेट में आर्ग्यूमेंट्स है तो वो लिखो, अगर नहीं है that is okay. Then here you write a function body. This is what is the signature, this is what is the syntax that you need to follow. अगर आपको डिक्लेयर करना है, write the return type, write the function name and semicolon. Please ensure जो फंक्शन आप डिक्लेयर करते हो, जो रिटर्न टाइप डिक्लेयर करते हो, that function declaration structure and the syntax should not change into the function definition. If you have declared it as void, declare it at void only. If you have given a function name as display, give the function name as display and so on. Is it okay? Is it okay? Have you understood up to this point, everyone? Right. Now, let me just compile and show you the flow of the execution. Okay. Can you see? First of all, it is printing inside main. Okay, inside main. I have given a function called display. It will say, is there a declaration for display is for this program? Yes. Is there a definition? Yes. It will go inside the function body. And can you see it is printing this statement on my output screen? Have you understood the first function call? Yes. Next, it is printing back to main. It is printing back to main. Again, I've given a display function call. Is it going to give me the same output? Display function call के body को call किया और उसने topic display किया. Again, it will come back to the calling area. It is saying calling display again, calling display again. It is a function call. It will go to the function body and it is displaying the same thing one more time. And finally, it is coming back to main and I'm saying end of the main. It is displaying end of the main. Means if I wish to continuously perform the same operation in a repetitive mode, can I use function? Yes. Function से मेरा code, large code is divided into smaller subtasks that is called as achieving the modularity. Have you understood the flow of the program, everyone? Right. Can we write void display at the starting? Yes, that's what I have written. Function declaration must be done in the global area. Function definition must be done in the global area in C programming. Main के अंदर आप function define नहीं करोगे. Main itself is a function. Okay, यहां तक समझ में आया? Shall I proceed? All right. Now, let us take next example of function. Let me first explain the requirement of the program. My program requirement is, first, if user is saying, I want to perform sum of 30 and 20, that is two numbers. Then user is saying, I want to perform sum of 50, 25. Again, user is saying, I want to perform 70, 30. Again, user is saying, I want to perform 100 plus 300. That means when I'm giving a call to this sum, it should give me 50. Here, it should give me answer as 75. It should give me answer as 100. It should give me answer as 400. अब अगर आपको normal program लिखना है, then can I say I have to take, let us say N1 and N2. Maybe I have to write N1 is equal to 30, N2 is equal to 20. And again, I have to perform N1 plus N2. Again, I have to put it into result variable. Again, I have to print F. Then I have to print the result. And I'll write %D. Again, I'll say result. This is first task. फिर से I will declare, let us say N1 and N2, and maybe I'll declare next to two variables, N3 and maybe N4. And again, I'll write the same repetitive code, which will perform the addition and so on and so forth. Can I say I'm writing a repetitive code in my program? It is also increasing the length of the code. Absolutely correct, right? Also, I'm writing a repetitive code. To avoid this repetition of the code, I will use which concept? Function concept, right? Now, if you observe the previous scenario, in that case, क्या मैंने display function के round bracket में कुछ pass किया था क्या? नहीं. That's why I said display function is not taking any argument. Okay. Now, as far as this program is concerned, can I say sum Is it a function name? Yes. कौन डिसाइड करेगा? मैंने खुद ने डिसाइड किया. आपको चाहिए सम ऑफ नंबर दो, एडिशन नंबर दो, एडिशन ऑफ नंबर दो, एड अंडरस्कोर नम दो, सम अंडरस्कोर नम दो, whatever name you wish to give, you can use in your program. Why? Because it is a user defined function, right? Can you observe the requirement of the program? My sum function is taking two values. If while giving a function call, if it is taking two values, those are called as arguments. So based on the requirement of the user, you define the arguments. Is it okay? Have you understood? All right. Now, I'm saying I'll again first declare the function. Maybe I'll write void. I'll write function name. Argument 1 है पहला नंबर, argument 2 है दूसरा नंबर. But पहला argument का data type क्या है? Integer. Second argument का data type क्या है? Integer. So I can say over here is sum is user defined function, right? Which is taking two arguments of type integer. Someone say I want addition of float, so you will write float comma float. Someone will say integer and float, so you can write first argument as integer, second argument as float. Someone will say no, I want first argument as float, second as integer, you can go for it. Someone say no, I do not want addition of two numbers, at a time I wish to pass three values, so you can pass int n1, int n2, int n3. Is it completely based on my requirement? Yes. Accordingly, you have to declare it. Accordingly, you have to define the parameters to it. These are called as arguments or these are called as parameters. यहां तक समझ में आया? Everyone. All right. Now, this is called as, is it a function declaration, function definition, or function call? Please tell me. Is it a function declaration? Yes, it is a function declaration. अब मुझे function body लिखना है. Function body कैसे लिखेंगे? I'll copy this. I will write the function body over here. I'll say integer result semicolon result is equal to n1 plus n2, and I'll say printf addition is equal to %d. I'll write result. Is the functionality is clear to everyone? Right. क्या मैंने यहाँ पे return लिखा है क्या? नहीं लिखा है. तो return नहीं लिखा तो फिर मुझे यहाँ पे क्या आएगा? Void आएगा. इसका मतलब क्या? Some function सिर्फ add करेगा, display करेगा. That's it. It is not returning any value. Okay, so I have written void. Next example, I will take the next example where I'm going to return a value too. Right. Suraj is asking, can I write void sum bracket में int, comma int? Absolutely fine. This is a valid syntax because this is just the declaration part. What does a declaration means? You are saying to the compiler that I am going to use a sum function in my program which may take two arguments. First argument is of type integer, second argument is of type integer. This is what is a declaration part. But at the time of definition, it is compulsory to write a variable name as and a data type. If you do not write it, it will not understand. That's the reason normally हम declaration के time पे भी variable का नाम देते हैं. समझ में आया? This is also valid. This is also valid. All right. So I have first declared the function. I have just defined the function. Now I want to basically call the function. How we give a call to the function? By just writing function name. पहली बार मुझे 30 and 20 pass करना है. I'll pass 30 and 20. Okay. Let us understand the flow now. This is my main function, right? I'll take it over here. This is my main function. This is my sum function. Over here, I'll define. Now, can I say I have this my main function which will have a space into the stack? This is called as function activation record of main. Function activation record of main. Now, I'll just do one thing. I will give a call one more time. I'll just write it over here. Maybe sum of 50 and 40. I'll write 2 times. Take. This is my function. This is defined within the, you can say, main. Okay. What is function activation record? It is like every function receives some memory space for its execution. And that is That space is called as function activation record. इसको short में बोलते हैं FAR, which is given to every function inside the stack memory allocation. Stack is basically a temporary memory, and that is called as, or that is assigned by your OS. So I'll save this diagram for your reference. You can refer it. OC4, C program, day 5, and FAR. Now, if I'm saying for the first time, some function have been given a call. Yes, Ashwini, you can write. Some function is being given a call. तो अब क्या होगा? Now there will be one function activation record of sum, because sum भी एक function है. At this location, I have passed sum bracket में 30,20. So can I say this 30 value will go into N1 and this 20 value will go into N2. All right. It will calculate result is equal to 30 plus 20 and it will display result is equal to 50. Do you all agree? Everyone. Right. At this point, I have given a function call by passing 2 arguments because my function was expecting 2 arguments. This concept is called as call by value concept. When you give a function call, at that moment, when we pass some arguments, that concept is called as call by value. Did you all get it? Everyone. Right. Second important point. At this point, can I say 30 and 20 are the actual values which I'm passing? Right. So 30 and 20 को मैं बोलूंगी actual arguments. So while giving a function call, I pass actual arguments. At this point, can I say 30 and 20 are getting replaced with N1 and N2 when they go inside the function? Yes. So I will say N1, I'll say N1 and N2 are formal arguments, which are formally getting replaced with this 20 and 30 and 20 value. Have you understood the flow? Everyone. Now, when the function call is over, it is displaying addition is equal to 50. It will come back to the next calling area. When it comes back to the calling area, this will get completely destroyed. Second time, let us understand. Second time, how the compiler know N1 is 30 or 50? Ashwini, how many arguments I have passed? 2. The first is of type integer, second is of type integer. तो पहला argument 30 पास किया, वो first में ही जाएगा. Second argument 20 पास किया, वो N2 में ही जाएगा. Is it okay? So it is like the sequence of arguments should match. Good. Let us observe the next scenario. Again, can I say this is one more time function call? Yes, it is one more time function call. This is a function called sum, right? By passing 2 values, 50, 40. Can I say here 50 and 40 are the actual arguments? Whenever there is a function call, function activation record gets generated. And if it is getting generated, तो अभी फिर से ये function इधर definition आएगा. So can I say here, this is also a function activation record of sum which gets generated. And here if I observe, 50 value will go into N1, 40 value will go into N2. Can you observe the arrows properly? Here it will calculate result is equal to 50 plus 40. And here it will basically give me answer as 90. Right? Now, at Pawan, can you please tell me everyone, how many arguments my sum function is expecting? 2 arguments it is expecting. तो अगर मैंने यहाँ पे sum लिखा और एक ही argument पास किया तो चलेगा क्या? नहीं चलेगा. Because my function is expecting 2 arguments or 2 parameters. Arguments or parameters, both you can say. Right? So it is expecting 2 parameters. So you should pass 2 values to it. Did you all understand? It will give you a compile time error, too few arguments. Yes, Amay. Now this activation record or this result is displayed on the screen, and then it will come back to the calling area. Once it will come back, it will destroy this. Okay, sum 2, 3. So 2 and 3 is basically 5. It is using static memory. No, Durgesh, it is using stack memory, not static. Stack memory allocation. सबको समझ में आया फंक्शन एक्टिवेशन रिकॉर्ड कैसे जनरेट हुआ और फंक्शन कॉल कैसे हुआ? इवन दो मैं कितनी बार भी फंक्शन कॉल करूंगी, मे बी 40, 50, अगेन सम मे बी 100, 300, 400, maybe you want to pass 25, 35 or 45, whatever. So every time it is going to give you the result as addition. Let's compile and check. Can you see every time it is giving me different result? Because whenever there is a function call, it goes to the function body, executes and gives me the result. Hope you have understood. Okay, Pawan, no problem. Did you all get it? So some function was expecting 2 arguments and some function is getting executed. Shall I proceed little ahead? फंक्शन डिस्ट्रॉय नहीं होता है, फंक्शन एक्टिवेशन रिकॉर्ड डिस्ट्रॉय होता है, सूरज. Because that is a temporary, you can say a temporary execution done at the stack memory allocation. Okay, Suraj? All right. Now, let us say, now, I'll take the same code. If you want to do addition and subtraction, in that case, Devidas, what changes you will write? आप दूसरा फंक्शन लिखो, सम की जगह पे आप सब्ट्रैक्शन लिखो, राइट? एंड यहाँ पे सेम जैसे आपने सम फंक्शन बॉडी स्पेसिफाई किया है, वैसे आप सब्ट्रैक्ट की बॉडी डिफाइन करो, एंड देन यू कैन राइट n1 minus n2 and you can have subtraction. So can I have 2 or more function in same program? Answer is yes. So you can give a call, maybe you want to subtract maybe 50 and 20. You want to perform subtraction, maybe 40, 20 or 10, whatever. So you can get it. Hope you have understood. Devidas. Right? Let's compile and check. Are we getting the result? 100% we will get the result because we have written a correct logic. Is it okay? If we take values at compile time, you can. Ashwini, you can. For example, if I'm saying now integer n1 and n2, and I'm saying printf enter n1, right? You will say scanf %d, comma, n1. You can take second input from the user. I'll say enter n2. User will take n2. I should have address sign. Address of n2. You want to give a function call sum. Maybe you want to pass n1 and n2. That's it. This I will put it into comments just for your reference. Maybe you want to call sum n1 n2, and maybe you wish to call n1 and n2. Is it okay? So you can either pass direct values or you can take it from the user. So n1, maybe I'm saying 60, n2, I'm saying 20. Can you see I'm getting the addition of these and subtraction of these by passing the function? I hope, Ashwini, you have understood. Is it okay? Now, shall I proceed little ahead? Okay. Now, you can take float values. Neeraj, जहां पे मैंने int लिखा है, यहाँ पे you can take float and you can do the modifications. Okay. Now, I'll say I have integer n1, n2, n3, n4. Understand the requirement of the program. The program says, I wish to just accept a number from the user, right? And I want to display. So I will write address of n1. Again, I will write address of n2, address of n3, address of n4, and so on. And finally, I'll say n1 %d, n2 %d, n3 %d, n4 %d. And I'll write n1, maybe n2, n3, and n4, right? So will it be a repetitive code for me 4 times? Everyone. To avoid repetition, Can I take this in the function body? Yes. मैं सिर्फ क्या करूंगी? I'll write a function except num. I'll write a function except num. I'll just write a function call that is except num. I'll give a function call except num. Did you get what I have written in the program? I want to accept 4 numbers. Instead of writing the repetitive codes, I will just give a function call. Have you understood the function call? All right. Now, I will have a function definition. This will be the function body. कि मुझे कौन सा task perform करना है. This is enter the number and I'll say integer n. It will read that number from the user. Now I'm saying return n. Why? Because मुझे नंबर रीड करके जब वो मेन के पास जाएगा उसको वो n वैल्यू देना चाहिए ना, तभी तो मेरा मेन प्रिंट कर सकेगा. Are you understanding the requirement? All right. Now, if I say return n क्या है? Variable. Of which data type? Of integer data type. तो यहाँ पे can I say function is returning an integer value while its execution. अगर फंक्शन इंटीजर वैल्यू रिटर्न करता है तो यहाँ पे हम int लिखते हैं. Did you get it? Everyone. Is it fine? Right. So, can I say here, if I wish to declare this function before main, I'll declare and I'll give semicolon. Can I say except underscore num is a function which is returning integer value? Can you please tell me except number को कितने number of arguments है? 0, because except num is not taking anything. It will just perform its task and return one integer value. So first time function call हुआ, it is just returning one value. Second time function call हुआ, it will return the value. Third time function call, it will accept and return the value. Fourth time it will call and return the value. To whom? To the calling area. Did you all get up to this point? कि return type क्या है? Okay. This will not give me the correct answer, expected answer, but let us try how it is working. It's not giving any compile time error. Let's compile this code. First time except num function have been given a call. Is it going into the function body? Yes. It's saying enter the number. So वो number मैंने लिखा 10. I'm hitting enter. It is saying accept number. It will again go to this function body. I'm entering 20. It is again coming back to the calling area, accept number, and I'm saying 30. It is again giving a calling area, will give a call to the function, it is expecting one number. I am entering 40. And I am hitting enter. Can you see I am getting all the garbage values n1, n2, n3, n4? Are you getting? I have taken 4 values. It have accepted those values, but it is giving me garbage, random values. Garbage values are garbage values. Why? It's because जब आप इसको बोलते हो return n, that means my function is returning one value to me. Do you all agree? अगर function value return करता है तो क्या मैंने उसको इधर कुछ यहाँ पे उसको मैंने कुछ कैच करने के लिए बताया है क्या? I've not intimated कि when you are accepting a number, then my function is going to return me a value. I have to intimate to the compiler, please store that value into n1. So here n1 is called as locator or location. So it's like if the function is returning a value, if you catch it in a variable, that variable will hold it. If your function is returning a value and if you're not catching that value in some variable, it will fall off. And that's why n1 में जो पहले garbage value है वही उसने दे दिया. Similarly, second time function call हुआ, it have returned a value. I should store that value. N3, I should store. N4, I should store that value. Otherwise, that value will fall off. Right? So let us take this. Function can return only one value, Muskan. I'm saying 10, 20, 30, 40. Is it working absolutely fine for us now? Everyone. Did you get it? The meaning of functions properly? A function is taking two arguments. Function in the sum case, function was not taking argument. Function may return a value, function may not return a value. Is it okay? Good. Now, with respect to return type specifically, I'm saying I'll write printf and I'm saying hello world, right? Will it display hello world to me, everyone? Right. Next, if I'm saying printf and I'm saying hello world and I'm saying I is equal to integer I, can you please tell me अब I में क्या value आएगा? 11 आएगा. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. याद है क्या सबको? याद है सबको? Yes. It means, can I conclude printf is a function whose return type is integer. तो सिर्फ मैं printf hello world दिख रही थी. Function was doing its task. It was returning a value, but I was not catching it. In this scenario, function is doing its task. It is returning a value. I'm storing into it variable. यहाँ पे भी same case हो रहा था. Except now function was doing its task. It was returning me a value, but I was not catching it. If you catch it, you can display. If you do not catch it, then absolutely fine. Hope this is now more clear in a better way. समझ में आया? All right. So this is called as function which can return a value. Function may or may not return a value. Function may or may not take arguments. All right. Now, let us say a function can have only one return value. In C programming, you can return only one value from the function. This is the rule, a design of the compiler. Now, let us say I'm writing one function called as swap numbers. I just wish to swap two numbers, right? Now, this is one function which I have declared in my program. Can you please tell me what is the return type for this function? Void. Good. What are the number of arguments, or how many number of arguments this function is taking? 2 arguments. Good. Can you please tell me the data type of the arguments? Both are of type integer. On line number 3, have I given a function declaration, definition, or call? It's the declaration. Very good. Good. Means all of you are awake and concentrating. Good. Let us say I'm having this function definition now, right? So if I say I just want to perform a swapping operation, so you can perform a swap within 2 variables by using 2 variables, or you can just use n1 is equal to n1 plus n2. You can write n2 is equal to n1 minus n2. You can write n1 is equal to n1 minus n2. This is a logic for swap. Let us understand. Suppose n1 I'm giving it as 5, n2 I'm giving it as 3. So first statement is n1 is equal to n1 plus n2, means can I say n1 is equal to 5 plus 3. So n1 will give me 8. Next, n2 is equal to n1 minus n2. So n2 is equal to n1 value was 8, n2 value was 3. So can I say n2 will hold 5 after this. And the last one is n1 is equal to n1 minus n2. The last value of n1 was 8, n2 was 5, and n1 is equal to 3. Can I say after execution of the statements, my n1 value have become 3 and n2 value have become 5, means the values are getting swapped? Is it the correct logic, everyone? You can use a temporary variable and you can perform the swap operation. So I am giving a call to the swap number function where I'm passing num1 and maybe num2. Let us say I'll take 2 numbers from the user. Enter num1, scanf, %d, and I'll say address of num1. I'll write integer num1 and num2. I'll take second number. I'll just first print the data. Maybe I'll write a printf num1 %d, num2 in %d, num1 and num2. So these are the values which I am trying to write before swap. And maybe after giving a function call, I am writing after swap. All right, let us compile this code and check whether the values are getting swapped or not. First number, I'm saying 5. Second number, I'm saying 3. Can you see before this? Okay, this is num2. I'll just change it. A copy paste error. I'm saying 5 and 3. Can you see num1 is 5, num2 is 3. Num1 is 5, num2 is 3. Right? Yes, Ashwini, you can pass two values to the function directly. Now let us understand. When I say main function, inside the main, the first time num1 and num2, two variables are declared. So ये मेरा main है. I'm just writing, this is my num1, this is my num2. So this is my num1 variable having the value 5. This is my num2 variable having the value 3, which I have passed. After that, from the main, I have given a function call. Okay, so this is a function call from the main, means can I say this will be passed as 5, 3. Can I say like this? Whenever there is a function call, function activation record gets generated. So function activation record में अब ये call होगा, right? That means the function activation record will get generated for us for the swap also. So this I can say a function activation record of main, and this I can say a function activation record for swap, right? Inside the swap, I have declared two variables. One is n1, another is n2. So n1 and n2. So that means these are the local variables within n1, and this is n2. Initially, am I saying 5 value is going inside n1 and 3 value is going inside n2? Those are the initial values, 5 and 3. After performing the swap logic, can I say this 5 value have been replaced with 3 and this 3 value or this 3 value have been replaced with 5? Can I say like this by applying the swap function logic? Right. Now, I am saying once the function call is over, the function will come back to its calling area and this function activation record will get destroyed. If this is getting destroyed, the FAR is deleted, then will it come back to the calling area? Yes, but यहाँ पे function activation record and call by value concept होने की वजह से main के variables में changes हुए क्या? नहीं हुए. अगर नहीं हुए, that's why can you observe when I'm coming to main, num1 is 5, num2 is 3. Did you all understand? This is called as, in case of call by value, the values of the main function, that is local variables, never gets changed. Okay. Any questions so far? No. Quickly go through the code. If you have any problems, please ask. Go through the function. Right. Ashwini, which point you have not understood? Okay, I'll repeat the diagram one more time. मैंने main declare किया है. Main के अंदर num1 and num2 है. So I have drawn inside the main, I have num1 and num2. I have given a function call. So यहाँ पे swap underscore num1 and num2 means there is a function activation record generated for swap. After that, it will go inside the swap. It will observe there are two more variables which are declared as n1 and n2. So it will generate n1 and n2 variable over here, out of which 5 is passed over here, 3 is passed over here. So n1 में पहला value गया 5, n2 में second value have gone as 3. When my function is performing its job of swapping two numbers, in that case, am I performing within its function body? Yes. तो मेरे जो values है वो swap इधर ही हो रहे हैं. They are getting swapped over here. This will get destroyed. Once it will come back to the calling area, at that moment, it will come over here and it will basically try to perform the operation onto the swap function area. It will not swap inside the main function activation record. तो जब मैं वापस मेन में आई हूं तो मुझे num1 और num2 की वैल्यू अनचेंज्ड है. दैट्स व्हाई इनसाइड द मेन बिफोर स्वैप 5 and 3, आफ्टर स्वैप 5 and 3 ही रह रहा है. होप यू हैव अंडरस्टूड. 3 नंबर्स को स्वैप करने के लिए आपको लॉजिक वैसे लिखना पड़ेगा नेहा, right? Can we return the updated values? Tushar, you cannot return 2 values from the function. Let me just write here. I'll write here printf. You will understand. Inside a function, %d. I'll write n1 and I'll write n2. This is inside a function before values. And let me just write here inside a function after values. फंक्शन के अंदर वैल्यू स्वैप हो रही है वो मुझे प्रूव करना है. एंड लेट अस से दिस इज mean. You will understand this. This is also mean. Calling area means जहां से उसको कॉल आया. अश्विनी, मेन से उसको कॉल आया तो कॉल होने के बाद इट विल कम बैक टू द कॉलिंग एरिया. कैन यू सी, मेन के अंदर 5 and 3 है बिफोर, inside function before 5 and 3, inside function after 3 and 5, but when it comes back to the calling area that is main, it is remaining the same, unchanged. तो सॉल्यूशन क्या है? अगर आपको सच में वैल्यू स्वैप दिखानी है तो आपको printf, आपको फंक्शन स्वैप printf स्टेटमेंट्स फंक्शन के अंदर ही लिखने पड़ेंगे. Is it okay? Did you all get it up to this point? Everyone? If yes, this is the, you can say, the total concept behind your functions topic. Go through the complete topic, then we can take a break and we will start with storage classes today. We give the value at the time of declaration, then swapping done or not. Right. Payal, आपने यहाँ पे दो numbers input लिया है. If you wish to pass swap number 10,20, you can. Suraj, you cannot return. Even if you write here return n1, n2 values, 15 minutes break, and then we will go ahead with the, if you wish to pass swap number 10,20, you can. Suraj, you cannot return. Even if you write here return n1, n2, तो ये हमेशा n2 ही return करता है. n1 कभी भी return नहीं करेगा. This is error. You cannot return two values because जब आप function को call करते हो swap underscore num, इसका लोकेशन आप एक ही बता सकते हो. आप ऐसे नहीं लिख सकते हो n1, n2. ये C में अलाउड नहीं है. कुछ पाइथन लैंग्वेज में ये अलाउड है, बट C में नहीं अलाउड है. So that's the reason we say a function cannot return multiple values. Is it okay? No, Nilesh, we will take call by, this concept is called as call by value concept. There is a concept called as call by reference that I will cover after the pointers. First, we will see the storage classes. So if you observe, today we have seen typedef, we have seen enum, and we have seen user defined functions. Now we will start with a storage class after the break. Is it okay? Everyone? All right. So let's take 15 minutes break and then we will go ahead with the next topic called as storage class. All right. Let us start with day 5 of C programming.